Good afternoon, everyone. This is Paul Massoda from Kyocera. I'm the area sales manager for the New England region, and I welcome you to the third installment of American Laser's Introduction to Kyocera series. This week we'll be talking about fleet management through a demonstration by one of our business solutions consultant, Dave Porterfield, and he'll be going through our Kyocera Fleet Services product, where you can remotely and locally manage all of the devices on your fleet. So, David, take it away.
Thanks, Paul. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm your business solutions consultant for the Northeast, and I'm going to give a presentation on Kyocera Fleet Services. Paul had already mentioned it's a great way to manage your fleet, be able to see the status of your fleet, and then do so many things that you normally can't do without an advanced software like this. So we accelerate driving technology forward. So Kyocera Fleet Services, it's cloud-based. It's hosted on servers in the United States, which is a concern of a lot of people, understandably. And it's on the Microsoft Azure platform, which Microsoft Azure has been out for a number of years. So it's very safe. Cloud-based solution. And if you look down here in the bottom, it is ISO certified, saying that it has been looked at and certified for security. So if you have any concerns, we also have white papers available that we could send out to folks as well if you wanted to look a little bit deeper into the security of the cloud-based platform. Whoop. So some of the features and categories of Kyocera Fleet Services. So under monitoring, you get a dashboard where you can look and you know, we'll show you all these things, but you have a dashboard where you can look and get a glimpse of your entire fleet, you know, from if you're having problems with any copiers, if you need toner, if a copier for some reason is offline, you know, these dashboards will give you a great snapshot into, you know, what's going on with your fleet at that time. And it also offers a couple different reports as a list report. So just basically what that is just list out any issues you might be having, like, you know, replacing toner, need maintenance on one copier, things such as that. And we'll also provide graphical reports as well, to include print volumes, scan volumes, faxing, pretty much anything that the machine does for you, you can put into some sort of graphical report. You can also pull up device properties. You can look at your serial number, your MAC address, location of the machine, and even the firmware, the software that goes in the machine, how recent that was updated. And also the panel status, just to make sure that your panel is working on your machine and there's no issues. You also have notifications where if you have an issue with the machine, whoever is looking at Kyocera Fleet Services and managing it will see, and it will show an issue. And I'll show you that as we go on. And announcements, you can push announcements out to your copiers. You can push an announcement out such as, this copier is going to be down today from 1 o'clock to 1:30 for maintenance. And, you know, people will be able to go see that and choose an alternate copier to use. And then maps, if you had wanted to, you can actually create maps of your entire organization and every department and where every one of these copiers is located. So you can name what the location it's at, and you can also have it on a map if you needed to go out and find it and you weren't sure exactly where it was. One of the other things, and this is really the power behind Kyocera Fleet Services, is, you know, you can get a quick snapshot of, you know, maintenance issues. If you have any issues going on at the time, you can take a screenshot at the panel to see if there's any, you know, issues at the panel itself. You can restart a photocopier from the software. You don't actually have to go out and travel to that spot to restart it to see if it's if that will fix an issue, you can restart it from the software, and then you can see if it still has an issue or if it's back online. So that saves a lot of time. You can choose your device settings right from KFS. You can choose your maintenance modes when you want your machines to do their own maintenance. You can put a note on the panel. Same thing, kind of like announcements, a little bit different, letting them know when maintenance is being conducted. You can send files from the software to the machine. So if you wanted to upgrade the machine itself, you can send the file directly from the software. You don't ever have to leave, your desk to go out to the machine. You can just do it yourself. It also captures, data on everything that's going on with that machine to help any technicians, diagnose it and recommend any fixes to it. And in the firmware upgrade, it can automatically push the firmware. And the firmware is basically the software for the copier that allows it to run. And like any other software, we do upgrade our firmware from time to time. And we'll let you know that in the software. There's announcements that will tell you when a firmware has been updated, and then it's up to you to, just to grab it and push it out to the machine. Very, very simple. A few of the other tools we have available is device registration and diagnostics. You're able to register the device, run it through diagnostics, make sure everything's working well. And then you can have a data collection tool to pull data together to maybe show to a technician to say, all right, this is what's been going on with the machine. And it is a high pass application. So we can put other things on the machines that it will see, such as, like MyQ, DM Connect, which are a couple of our other applications that we'll probably talk about in other months. So moving on, a device, this is your device screen you're gonna have when you first log in, and this is going to show you your status of everything going on. You see here in the upper left, it'll show the machine. It's going to have its serial number and the machine type. It has the host name. You can put in departments there if you want. It'll show if it's in an error status. You have an error status in the first 5, and then you have 2 of them that are a warning that something's going on. Most likely that it needs toner. And then you have all your firmware versions. And then this will tell you exactly where you are toner-wise. You look at this top machine and, it's 80% on black, but magenta's at 13%. And it just kind of gives you an idea. And then, and then on the bottom here, when you get to below 10%, that's when it will also give you a warning as well, so when it's getting close to change your toner. The software also provides a dashboard, which is great. You can run your own reports. So you can run a report, and this one on the left here is a usage analysis, and it shows all your scan volume trends. And really that one sheet just focuses on your scans. So, it probably gives a good snapshot of that organization and how much they're using scans and where they're scanning to, and if scanning's becoming, something that's really putting a lot of use on the machines. You also have preventative analysis that will, like I said earlier, give you warnings on things that are going on with the machine you might not see or you might not know. And unfortunately, in our everyday life, sometimes when people walk up to a copier and it's not working, they just walk away and don't report it. And that's one thing that's great about this software, is it's going to let you know when the machine is not working. So, and then the consumables, which is all of your toners, you can get a report for every machine on how much toner you've used, what your volumes are, and kind of analysis over, a trend, say 3 months or 6 months. You can just kind of take a look at that if you wanted to. And there's other reports you can run as well. So here's your printer usage for color. Now this shows, dates down on the bottom, and when they checked it, and it shows, your printer, your different types of printers. It'll also show your total print volume, your fax totals, if you're doing a lot of faxing, and your black and white, as well as all your color ones. And the color is the printer levels, that's your color levels that are being captured there. So it gives you a good snapshot. And here's the map. You know, we get software in here that'll help you map out your organization, and you can show where every copier, every printer is in a location. And then that way there, people can find it a little bit easier. Or if you have a new technician traveling out to do some work on one of your printers or copiers, you could also, if they're not familiar with the areas, print out a quick map and say, hey, it's in this department, and that's exactly where it is. So this is a great added tool for some companies. And we talked about panel notes, where you can just put a note on the panel of copier. And this is an example of one here. It says, we scheduled a service engineer to visit you on 1/20/2015 between 10 and 12, your service team. And it shows when they did this. So it gives a good idea if someone's going to be coming out to work on a machine, someone could walk up, see that, and, you know, use the machine, or, you know, go on to another location to make their copies or release prints. And I have questions, but I'm just going to go right into the software. Get back there. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
You can see it showing the software.
No, you're still in
Nope, it says
presentation.
questions. Yep.
Oh, okay.
You have to stop sharing and reshare.
Stop share, reshare. Okay. How about that?
Yes.
There you go. Looks
Okay.
good.
Very good. So this is the software here itself and what it looks like. And you did get a little snapshot of it, but so a few things going across the top. This is telling me we have 43 new printers. And actually, before I start, this is what I'm logging into is Kyocera, and I can see showrooms and Kyocera offices all over the country. So what I basically did is I'm logged in now to the showroom at our headquarters in Fairfield, New Jersey. And these are all the machines that we see here. And the good thing about looking at machines in a demo floor is you typically see a lot more warnings and a lot more machines that are not working because we're constantly upgrading, changing things, unplugging machines to put something else on to show to a customer. So this actually is a good area to show. But you know, keep in mind it's our demo room. If you see a bunch of machines down, it's not reflective of our equipment. It's reflective of it's a demo room environment. So I just have to, you know, say that. So it'll tell you who you are when you're logged in. It's, you know, you can look at different device information, but really all you need to do is kind of come down here and you see right across the top, you have a ribbon bar, and we start with devices. And if I go scroll down here, I can see devices around the country. Like you could see devices throughout your organization. If you're at one location, you see them all in one spot. We're in multiple locations around the country, so we can actually zero into each location to take a look at those machines. And even if you have a large area that you cover, say the whole country, you don't have to go to every one to look at each machine. You can have it where it's automatically going to send you, you know, any warnings or issue notifications, regardless of which one of these you're currently in. So you don't have to bounce around and keep checking those. So we got the machines here. This was kind of like in one of the slides I had showed you. It gives you all your machine information. This one has a warning. So I'll click on that. We'll see what the warning is. There we go. So we see the machine itself here, and it tells you what the machine is, how many trays or cassettes it has. It's got all the same information that it had in the other view, the firmware information, your toner information, and then the status. So this warning here is saying that we have to format a hard disk in the copier. So probably what's going on is maybe they're replacing the hard disk for some kind of demonstration purposes, and they just haven't formatted it yet. So that's what we're seeing there. And if you look through the device logs, which are great as well, it'll show you the history and timestamps of any issues that you've had with that machine itself. So we can see here, we put on our demo floor, I would say is 9, so September 2019, and it's the last error we had was in January 2020. I think that's because our demo room's been pretty much not used in the past year. But so I can get out of this, and you can scroll down and look at all your other machines. They're all ready. Let me see if we get anything else. So someone chose to monitor these. So something's going on with these machines, probably in the test environment, and somebody is monitoring it to give some type of feedback to let them know if anything's going on with that machine, or certain softwares are working correctly, etc. And then we show machines that are just offline. They could be ones that are sitting there offline because no one's using them, or they could have been, unplugged and moved, and no one's updated this yet. So you see we have a lot online, and only one that has an issue. So moving on to gateways, this will show a little bit of a lag in the software here. So this will show all of your network gateways and where they are in relation to connecting to these machines, either wired or wireless. And we're not showing any here, but a lot of times you would see those, and then you can look at the status of it. So if a copier goes down and it's not working, you can go look and say, hey, is my network gateway up and running, or is that where the problem is? So that is a huge help too, to rule out that it's a network issue before you look at the machine itself. Now we move on to dashboard. And we don't, oh, there we go. I don't think we had anything. So this is the monthly print volume from our demo floor. So it'll show black and white and color. And then based if it's an MFP, if it's a printer, or if it's just showing up as unknown. But that will show your volume and device count. You can also look at black and white versus color, your top 10 devices printing, which some of them, of course, is our demo room, so some have zeros. But it'll show that one machine did 736 color prints last month. And then it'll show the inactive machines. So that'll give you a good snapshot. Now, toner order, you can order your toner right through here as well. So if you see, let me see if I see any. All right, I don't see any that are showing low toner. So let's see. We'll look at this machine. There we go. So this is showing the status of the toner from 10/2018 to January 2021. That's shown when the toner usage, how it's gone down, it's not been used as much. And it's just kind of shows you how the toner usage goes through different cycles. And you can also toner history for when you order toner as well. So let me see. You also can look at counters on your machines as well. Any notifications? You don't have any on that one. You have any statuses? I don't believe any are going to show. Okay. So this is the status showing what was done to this machine over time. It looks like it got prepared for our sales boot camp that we run. Someone took some snapshots of it. Someone went to upgrade the firmware, and it showed as failed. Claude is our head instructor for Kyocera, so he was probably running different tests on it, and that's why you have a lot of these these tasks show up for different things that were done with the machine, and that's it. This will keep a historical record of that for you. And then tasks would be tasks that you're going to schedule versus the status. Here, so notifications that pop up. So any notifications for machines or any issues with you know, having to get updated firmware or things like that, they would send out notifications to say, hey, this is where our firmware is. This is the latest version, and we're going to push it out to you, and then you can kind of do what you want, you know, from there. And then the graphical reporting, I don't think we're going to get much from here. Look at some templates. So there's no reports already created under basic reports. So we look at templates, print color usage, skip down, page volume by manufacturer, paper jam count, counter reports. We'll choose the paper jam, see if it will actually let us print a report. Nope, not looking like it's going to let us print one off here. But that's how you would do your reports. And there's just a lot of choices you have on, you know, what you want to look at. And then your list report is just reports in a list format versus graphics. And again, I don't have any reports to show here. There's nothing in the history, but it would show that, you know, in a list volume, like, you know, this machine, you know, had a paper jam this day. You had to change the firmware on another day. It'll just break out all that information for you. And then task status. This just goes over all the tasks, not just the one we showed for that machine. So this will be for the whole fleet. And you see a lot of them are getting ready, or depending on the date, I'm not sure if they're getting ready to run a boot camp. And they're preparing all those machines for that. That's what it looks like a lot of them are. The teaching one, a few other retrieve snapshots. So it showed you on all the different tasks and status that happen to every machine. And, you know, honestly, that's pretty much it. If you like what you see and you're interested, reach out to one of your representatives, and, you know, we could always do a full demonstration for you and show you how it works. And that's all I have. If anyone has any questions.
No, we do not have any questions.
No questions. So I appreciate everyone's time, and I look forward to seeing you next month.
Yeah, thank you for everybody's attendance, Dave. Thank you for the presentation, and hopefully you folks get something interesting out of seeing our Kyocera Fleet Services product. Please join us next month. You should see an invitation soon. We will be presenting our print management product referred to as MyQ. So pretty powerful product that can help you control your devices and how people operate those devices. So I look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you again.